Hey everybody, it's Charlie from DM Sound, and today we've got the sound system demo on the 2023 Honda Accord and its 12-speaker Bose audio system. This is going to be an in-depth review. We're going to take a look at how the new infotainment system works, take a look at audio inputs, adjustments, controls, speaker locations. Then we're going to head out on the highway and listen to these sample tracks at 70 miles per hour to get you a realistic interpretation for this system. Now, if you don't care about any of that stuff at the beginning and you just want to hear the music, click ahead in the video. We've got chapters to get you right to the tunes. And I recommend listening with headphones so that you can hear exactly what I hear in the driver's seat. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. All new for 2023, the Honda Accord. This is, because it has the Bose system, the top-level touring trim. I've got the car tucked in nicely here to get the front out of the shade, so you can't see it too well up there, but I have quite enjoyed driving this car around. The hybrid powertrain works excellently. It's very comfortable, very spacious, and unlike a lot of the new cars on the market these days, really not priced that bad. Even this top-level trim coming in about $38,000. So if you do want to see more on the Accord, check the link in the description. We've got a DM review as well as a highway fuel economy test. Now, we always do these tests with lossless, uncompressed WAV files, but today they're not on a USB stick plugged directly into the system because I plugged my USB stick in and nothing happened. I would show you, but I don't want to ruin the CarPlay stuff right now, but I plugged it into this data port and it said unsupported USB drive. So I'm not sure if it's because of the format of the tracks on the drive or something to do with the fact that I was using a USB-A into a Type-C adapter. But either way, we're running off my phone, so it should still be a lossless connection with Apple CarPlay here, wired in. And I'm still using the high-quality Roland binaural microphones in both of my ears, giving you the most realistic audio system demo on YouTube. We also do the test with the sound settings set to their factory defaults, just as the audio engineers intended. So let's take a look at those now. Entirely new infotainment system here for Honda. It's almost like it's taking what they learned with the Acura systems that we've seen in newer Acuras and converted it into a touch-only system here without having a little trackpad. It does work quite well. I like the colors, I like the resolution, and I like the operation. Let's go here to general settings and then down to sound. First thing, we're greeted with bass, mid-range, and treble. Let's go through those. You can see how nice the screen responds. It's very easy to adjust these and bring them right back to center. There's a lot of systems that you gotta just get your finger just right on there and pull them back and forth like we see in the Toyotas. So I like this quite a bit better. Below that, you've got adjustment for Bose Centerpoint Surround, which enables simulated surround sound. Let's turn that off and on. That adds a bit of an artificial sound to your music, but it does kind of make it feel like it's filling up the cabin a little bit better. We're going to do most of our testing with Centerpoint off, because that's going to give us more of a true to recording sound, but maybe we'll turn it on and off as we're listening. Then you have audio zones, as well as a front, rear, left, right, balance, and fader. Let's go through those. Yeah, full vehicle, driver only, front only. Let's back the track up a little bit here. And then rear only. Or you can just move this around very easy like that. Then last thing, you've got Bose dynamic speed compensation. So as you get going louder, it's going to increase volume and elements of the music to make up for road noise, wind noise, and engine noise, although there's very little of that in this car. We'll leave that on low. And that's it for audio adjustments. For controls in the new Accord, you've got a volume knob here. It's very, very small. Does have nice clicks, so it feels good to use, but you gotta have your little dainty fingers down there. If you were a large-fingered individual, it might be hard to adjust that. But you do have a volume rocker on the left side of the wheel. Good clicks there. For track selection, no sort of physical control here and no sort of hot control either. So if you're, say, on this screen, for example, there'd be no way to adjust tracks. You actually have to go home and then into your media screen that you're playing, whether that be CarPlay or something like USB here or something on the radio. You do have adjustments on the left side of the wheel for track, fortunately, right by the volume controls. For audio inputs in the new Accord, you have your standard AM, FM, Sirius XM satellite radio. Actually, do you have Sirius XM? Maybe because this is Android Automotive, they actually just expect you to download an app. So you'd have to go into the Play Store here and get an app there for Sirius XM. You could also do it through the wired or wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support. You do have a USB-C port, although, like I said earlier, wasn't letting me play the USB tracks from my designated drive. Do we have any sort of streaming services built in? I don't see anything. That's not to say that Honda couldn't add it, and you could also probably go into the Play Store and install applications for Pandora or Tidal, apps like that. There's just nothing on this test vehicle. And that is it. So what does that mean you're missing? Well, there's no 3.5mm auxiliary input jack. There's no USB-A port, so make sure you're carrying around an adapter. And like I said, you are going to have to install those applications for something like SiriusXM or the other streaming services. Speaker locations. As I said, this is a 12-speaker system, very similar to what we've been seeing in a lot of the new Hondas. Starting in the bottom left, you've got kind of a mid-ranger there, 1, 2 tweeter, 3 center up front, 4, 5 on the other side. And into the back. 6, 7 mid-range tweeter, 8, 9 on the other side, 10, 11 back here in the deck lid. And then we've actually got a 12th subwoofer in the deck lid right up there as well. All right, I'm gonna get this stuff put away so we can head out on the road. happy with the way that this setup fills the cabin. It sounds good and full. It's a very satisfying sound from that standpoint. I do think there's too much upper bass, almost lower mid-range coming through from these door speakers. I'd like to see, I'm very happy with the crispness of the tweeters, so I think those are good, and I'm happy with the placement of the middle speaker there. The system would sound more full and satisfying if it were a trunk-mounted subwoofer, or if they could just do more with that deck lid-mounted subwoofer and calm down these speakers a little bit. It might be able to dial down the mid-range a bit in there, but you're getting this hollow sound that you hear. Not quite as accurate as I would want for this system, but it's still not too bad. Speaking of bass, for this next song, we'll turn the bass all the way up and see what we get. Excuse my swerving there. Yeah, these door woofers are just having to do too much, and they're not that great at it. This type of bass should be the job of a subwoofer in the rear, and it should be filling the whole cabin. Instead, I feel it coming out at my pant leg. I'm still not getting that much mirror shakage. Wrapping up my thoughts on the 12-speaker Bose system here in the Accord. There's a lot to talk about with this system because a lot of the new Honda Boses sound pretty similar. And don't get me wrong, I am so happy that Honda's stepping up their game. Even the best sound system in the previous gen Accord was trash. So this is still leaps and bounds above that. But this one doesn't sound all that different than the system in the Civic. In the Civic, you can start getting that system as cheap as, $27,000 in the Civic Si. But in the Accord, you got to step up to $37,000 to this top-level touring model in order to get this sound system. And at that point, it starts to get a little like, this shouldn't be a system that's exclusive to the top-level trim. This should be a mid-trim and up sort of sound system because it's good, but it's not fantastic. I'd be giving it a B. It's solid, but it, like I said, it doesn't have that full bass envelopment that's really going to wow you from your tracks. A B system like this is just solidly better than average. It's a good upgrade, but it's not. Now the wow factor isn't there, and you're kind of starting to get to the point. This value of car, $37,000 or so, you should be starting to get wowed. So if Honda's going to start putting this in $40,000 or $50,000 cars, we haven't tested it in the pilot yet, but if it is only sounding like this, it's going to be disappointing. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on this Accord, check the link in the description, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.